Hey St. Louis, it's Angela Hochman here. Thank you so much for tuning in to STL TV. Today, I have a very special guest I'm sitting down with. I brought the artistic director of Dance St. Louis, Mr. Michael Uthoff. Michael, how's it going?
Very well, thank you.
Good.
Thank you for having us.
You seem very calm knowing that there's a very big event on the horizon. Let's talk about Spring to Dance.
What would you like to know?
Okay, what is this big event? All I know is that it's 2 days and it's action-packed.
It is action-packed. It's an idea that we had at Dance St. Louis about 15, this is the 15th anniversary of the event itself.
Wow.
And we decided that it would be an interesting situation to bring as much dance as we could in a very short period of time, 2 or 3 days, from all over the country to come and perform in St. Louis. Companies that they would never, the people in St. Louis would never have a chance to see, and do so at a very inexpensive ticket price. So the people can come and see it for almost nothing, just like a movie. And these companies come from the top, from New York City Ballet and the Joffrey Ballet and so on so forth, to small groups of Arkansas, San Diego, that they've never seen. And it's an exciting event, which makes people discover unusual things about the dance that has had a really positive effect on the dance culture of the city. So we are very proud of Dance St. Louis of being really the kind of the leaders of our field.
Absolutely. I would say you were the pioneers in dance. But let's take a moment and just talk a little bit about Dance St. Louis. Some people might not be familiar with this really cool organization.
Well, I think it is. I think we are.
A lot of people do.
When I was asked to come here, I wasn't sure what exactly was the objective. But in essence it is that we are one of the few not-for-profit dance presenters in the country. There's only maybe 3 or 4 of us. So we're not affiliated to a theater, we're not affiliated to any specific place. We basically start every year with $0 and then build it up so that we can bring worldwide renowned events of dance that you wouldn't otherwise see it. So instead of you spending, although it could be fun if you want to spend all the money to go to New York and Paris or whatever.
Of course.
We bring New York to you, we bring Chicago to you, we bring San Francisco. We bring all these great dance companies that exist to perform in St. Louis. And therefore it enhances you as an audience, having seen all these things. So then when you travel the world, even through the Spring to Dance, if you discover something, you say, wow, I saw these guys in Spring to Dance, maybe I'll go see them again.
Yeah.
So that's the kind of effect, and that's the kind of positivity we want, and that's worked. And Dance St. Louis has been doing it for almost 60 years.
Is Dance St. Louis made up of different companies?
No.
It's just...
Dance St. Louis, this is the thing, people think we are a dance company, we're not. We have the pleasure of enjoying dance without having to have the problem of trying to sustain all these dancers over time.
Right.
We will bring, Dance Theater of Harlem. We will bring Alvin Ailey. We will bring, American Ballet Theater. We will bring other companies into Martha Graham, other companies into St. Louis. So we only worry about them for 2 or 3 days, and then they have to worry about themselves.
That is really, really smart. So I want to talk a little bit more about this Spring to Dance. It is 2 nights. It's going on over at the Two Hill, a great, beautiful performing arts center on the UMSL campus. So this is so interesting. It is 2 nights, but the performances are different both nights. Is that correct?
Right. And this year, I mean, we've had to adjust to COVID.
Sure.
It used to be that we presented 30 companies over 3 nights. And we did it in 2 theaters, but COVID just ransacked everything.
Yeah.
So right now we're doing 17 groups that are going to be performing at the Two Hill. Each night, totally different program, not the same groups.
So
cool. 8 and 7, so to speak. And they will be at the Two Hill, which is, like you mentioned, a gorgeous theater. 1,500, not a bad seat in the house.
No.
And it involves the audience. If you come to the theater an hour before, there's a kind of demonstration with some local institutions so that you have an idea of what dance can be or is. And then you go into the theater and you see the professionals do the work.
So can you even begin to share what different types of dance people can expect? I know there's a wide variety, but can you give us a couple examples?
No, that's the whole beauty. I mean, for me, as a director, you asked me, what do I do? What do I like? I like the fact that I have the opportunity to look at the dance field and see it almost as a curator of a museum room.
Yeah.
So that I said, here I'm going to do a Picasso, here I'm going to be a Renoir, here I'm going to do a Dali. And I put them around in a way that you can sit in the middle and enjoy them. You know, so you will go from a flamenco dancer, a fantastic soloist dancer, to a Native American hoop dancer that's performing there, to stars of New York City, to stars of the Joffrey Ballet, to companies that have excelled creating new work of contemporary work.
Wow.
Looking at small companies, as I pointed out. One of the things that I like to do is to see if we can discover a group. Like there's two groups in this, three groups, one from New York City, one from Arkansas, and one from San Diego, which are totally unknown to the dance public, at least in the Midwest. Mm-hmm. And they do marvelous work. And it is contemporary in nature, but based on classical ballet. So you never know what you're going to get. You got to trust me.
I trust you, Michael, to be able, like you said, you're almost looking at it through the lens of a curator at a museum. It's like you're assembling all of these great acts and you know how to orchestrate them just so. And I feel like the beauty of dance is that you don't have to be a dancer to appreciate it. It is such a specific, beautiful art form that truly can move people and they're inspired by it.
You pointed out something very interesting because people think that I don't understand dance.
Right.
And dance, the more you know about it, the more interesting it becomes, but the more discerning you become. So sometimes you enjoy it less because you know too much. You know, I mean, it's like, and I don't go as often as I used to be because then I can be more discerning of what I want to see, and I will get bored and upset if it's not very good.
It is hard when you start becoming a critic and you can't turn that off. I completely understand that. For sure. And you also have, this is so interesting, you have a sibling duo that's going to be there, and they are Broadway stars.
Yeah, Megan Fairchild and Robert Fairchild. They both worked in New York City Ballet at one time, and he went into doing films in Broadway, and they both went to Broadway. So they're going to come in and do a small work by George Balanchine, so it's great. It's fantastic. And that's what I said, the counterpoint.
Yeah,
I mean,
sure.
You see these people who have a career at the highest level of limelight within our field, and then you get to see the smaller companies who are struggling in some little theater in their little town, but they have something very special to give.
How do you assemble all of these different companies? Do they send in auditions? Do you scout them? How do you pick?
All of those things. You know, I mean, basically, we by the time we finish this thing in June 2nd, we send out a whole application to the entire country. You know, so anybody who was interested to come here sends me a link to their work.
Cool.
So myself and about 3 friends that I have who have a similar aesthetic point of view, you can't just do it with anybody. We look at all these things and we grade them. We think, is this good, is this bad, or would this work, wouldn't it work? And then we begin to find what will be this particular season. So we know we've gotten as many as 180 applications one year. Well, that's when we had 30. Right now, because of COVID, too, a lot of companies went under.
Sure.
So last year we got about 100, you know, and some of them are invited. You know, I mean, I travel about, and if I see a work that I like, I said, we would like to have you. Do you want to do it for this little money?
It's the beauty of being the artistic director. You're the visionary for this.
Yep.
And I just love that people from all over the country come to St. Louis. You are just doing so much to put St. Louis on the map with this. And I read a review that I just loved from the Chicago Tribune saying, arguably the best dance buffet in the Midwest. How does that make you feel?
Well, I think not only in the Midwest, just about everywhere.
Sure.
Because it's accessible, it's different. I mean, there are similar things in New York City, but they are at a higher level. Mm-hmm. You know, so the discovery process is not what we do. We're challenging our audience.
Yeah.
We're making you wonder what the hell you're going to see.
Right.
And then you leave the theater, and it's very interesting to figure out that here, many a times, the audience has gone out of the theater fascinated for the unknown and for the known.
That's the beauty of what you're doing. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in the lobby afterwards and hear people chit-chat about it.
It's great. I mean, we had divided the unknowns with the knowns at one time, and some person offered me $2,000 if I'd get them because it was packed.
Oh my gosh.
You know, and said if I could get them in there, and I thought, no, I'll get you in anyhow. But You can send it
pays to know the artistic director. My goodness. I just love, Michael, that, you know, not everyone can get to the Joffrey Ballet or get to all these other bigger cities, and you assemble everyone here. I just think that's really amazing. It's so beautiful. So thank you from me, and thank you from St. Louis for doing what you're doing. Again, mark your calendars, May 26th and 27th. You don't want to miss the Spring to Dance. It's going on over at the beautiful Two Hill Performing Arts Center on the UMSL campus. Grab your tickets. Again, both nights are different, so you could have like a staycation and go twice and have a completely different experience. That's what I'm thinking of doing. Michael, it's been really great to talk with you.
Marvelous. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. It's been awesome. I'm really excited for what's to come with Dance St. Louis, starting with Spring to Dance. So again, mark your calendars, check them out, and hey, leave a review, because I think it's going to be amazing. That's going to do it right now on STL TV. But of course, we have so much great programming going on our website, on our social media, especially YouTube. There is so much good stuff happening there. So that's going to do it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.